Thank you for clicking on this video. Remember to like, share and subscribe to continued stories. Also remember to click the notification bell so you can be notified whenever a new content is uploaded. The Gaza Strip, a narrow piece of land bordering the Mediterranean Sea, has been a focal point of conflict and contention for decades. This densely populated area, roughly 140 square miles, is home to approximately 2 million Palestinians. Its history is a tapestry woven with the threads of ancient civilizations, colonial ambitions, and modern geopolitical struggles. To understand the current situation, one must first delve into the historical context. The origins of the conflict can be traced back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries, during the rise of nationalist movements. The Zionist movement, advocating for a Jewish homeland in Palestine, gained momentum in the late 1800s. This coincided with the decline of the Ottoman Empire, which had ruled over the region 4 centuries. As Jewish immigration to Palestine increased, tensions between Jewish and Arab communities escalated. Following World War I, the League of Nations granted Britain a mandate over Palestine. During this period, the Balfour Declaration of 1917 expressed British support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, further fueling tensions. By the time the United Nations proposed a partition plan in 1947, which aimed to create separate Jewish and Arab states, the stage was set for conflict. The plan was accepted by Jewish leaders, but rejected by Arab leaders, leading to civil unrest. In 1948, the State of Israel was proclaimed, prompting the First Arab-Israeli War. This conflict resulted in the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, an event referred to by Palestinians as the Nakba, or catastrophe. The Gaza Strip came under Egyptian control, while the West Bank was annexed by Jordan. For years, the Palestinian population in Gaza lived under Egyptian administration, with limited rights and autonomy. The landscape shifted dramatically in 1967, during the Six-Day War, when Israel captured the Gaza Strip, the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and other territories. This marked the beginning of military occupation, which has persisted in various forms ever since. The Israeli government began establishing settlements in the occupied territories, a move deemed illegal under international law by many countries and organizations. The settlements have been a significant point of contention, as they encroach upon land that Palestinians claim for a future state. The Palestinian Liberation Organization, PLO, emerged in the 1960s, seeking to represent Palestinian interests and advocate for self-determination. The PLO's recognition of Israel in the 1990s led to the Oslo Accords, which aimed to establish a framework for peace. However, the accords failed to resolve key issues such as borders, refugees, and the status of Jerusalem, leading to continued violence and unrest. In the early 2000s, the Second Intifada erupted, a period of intensified violence marked by suicide bombings, military incursions, and widespread protests. The situation in Gaza deteriorated further after the 2006 elections, in which the Islamist group Hamas won a majority. The international community's response was mixed. While some countries supported Hamas's electoral victory, others imposed sanctions and labeled the group a terrorist organization. The internal Palestinian divide deepened when Hamas took control of Gaza in 2007, leading to a blockade imposed by Israel and Egypt. The blockade has restricted the movement of people and goods, resulting in dire humanitarian conditions. Access to basic necessities such as food, water, and medical care has been severely limited, leading to widespread suffering among the population. The recurring cycles of violence between Israel and Hamas have exacerbated the situation. Military confrontations, such as the conflicts in 2008, 2009, 2012, and 2014, have resulted in significant loss of life and destruction in Gaza. Each escalation has led to international calls for ceasefires and negotiations, yet a lasting resolution remains elusive. The question of rightful ownership of the Gaza Strip is complex and deeply contentious. From a historical perspective, both Israelis and Palestinians lay claim to the land based on narratives that span centuries. Palestinians argue that they have lived in the region for generations and that their rights to self-determination and sovereignty are inherent. They view the Israeli occupation as a violation of international law and an impediment to their aspirations for statehood. Conversely, many Israelis assert their historical and religious ties to the land, citing biblical connection and historical presence prior to the establishment of the modern state. They argue that the establishment of Israel was a legitimate response to centuries of persecution, culminating in the Holocaust. The narrative of victimhood and survival has shaped Israeli identity, leading to a deep-seated belief in their right to exist as a sovereign state. International perspectives on the conflict vary widely. Some countries and organizations advocate for Palestinian rights and call for an end to the occupation, while others support Israel's right to defend itself against terrorism. The United Nations has passed numerous resolutions addressing the situation, yet implementation and enforcement remain contentious. As the humanitarian crisis in Gaza continues, the plight of its residents serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict. The blockade has led to soaring unemployment rates, limited access to education, and deteriorating health conditions. Many Gazans live in overcrowded conditions, struggling to meet basic needs. The psychological toll of living under constant threat of violence cannot be overstated, as families endure the trauma of loss and displacement. In recent years, grassroots movements and international campaigns have emerged, advocating for Palestinian rights and raising awareness about the situation in Gaza. Social media has played a significant role in amplifying voices that were previously marginalized, allowing individuals to share their experiences and perspectives. This has led to increased global scrutiny of Israeli policies and practices, as well as calls for accountability. The question of who the rightful owners of the Gaza Strip are is ultimately a matter of perspective. The historical narratives of both Israelis and Palestinians are deeply intertwined, and the quest for justice and recognition remains a central theme in the ongoing struggle. As the world watches, the need for dialogue, understanding, and empathy has never been more pressing. In conclusion, the Gaza Strip represents a microcosm of the broader Israeli-Palestinian conflict, a place where history, identity, and aspirations collide. The complexities of ownership, rights, and sovereignty continue to challenge efforts for peace. As viewers reflect on the information presented, it is essential to approach the topic with an open mind, recognizing the humanity of all those affected by the conflict. The future of the Gaza Strip and its people hinges on the ability to transcend narratives of division and work towards a shared vision of coexistence. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in this content, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell.